Hey Chiefs Kingdom. This one was a no-brainer. It's just been confirmed. I'll give you the lowdown on everything that went down behind the scenes, but if you want to stay up to date with all of this and other news, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Today, we've got a big injury report following our thrilling Monday Night Football win, plus some information on the roster changes that could impact our path to a historic third consecutive Super Bowl. Let's take a look at what's happening on the field and in the locker room. Without further ado, let's get right to the news. Starting on the injury front, there was a collective sigh of relief when the Chiefs announced that Patrick Mahomes' ankle injury shouldn't keep him out of action. The guy is unstoppable, and after he re-aggravated it on Monday night, fans were nervous. But don't worry, Mahomes is set to play in our AFC West matchup against the Denver Broncos this Sunday. However, there's one new addition to the injury report that has us watching closely: defensive end George Karlaftis. Karlaftis has been one of our top playmakers this season, with 22 combined tackles, 15 quarterback pressures, 13 QB hits, 5 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks. In the Week 9 win over the Bucs, he was all over the field, helping the Chiefs stay perfect. But now, he is dealing with an abdominal injury and was limited in practice on Wednesday. Karlaftis has become a key piece on defense, especially with his relentless pursuit and big-game mentality. Losing him for just one game would be a blow, but Coach Reid and the medical staff will evaluate his progress as we get closer to Sunday. If Karlaftis is unable to play, Malik Herring and Cameron Thomas will have to step up. Herring has 8 tackles, 3 QB hits, and 1 tackle for loss in his 8 games, while Thomas has only appeared in 4 games thus far. Both players have shown potential, but they'll need to bring their A-game to fill Karlaftis' skill set and intensity. In the wide receiver room, things are heating up ahead of the trade deadline. The Chiefs have already bolstered their roster by adding DeAndre Hopkins and defensive end Josh Uche, fueling speculation about additional moves. But what does this mean for W.R. Sky Moore? Moore is currently on injured reserve and has yet to make a catch this season. With his playing time dwindling, he could be facing the end of his time in Kansas City if another wide receiver is added or if Marquise Hollywood Brown returns sooner than expected. It's no secret that Moore's career hasn't gone as planned since being drafted in the second round in 2022. In limited opportunities, he's already racked up 2 drops, and Mahomes' passer rating has been consistently low when he's been targeted. While the hope was that Moore could bring some new talent to the offense, his struggles and lack of impact have put him on the periphery. If the Chiefs trade for another wide receiver, Moore may have played his last snap in red and gold. For Chiefs Kingdom, this is a bittersweet situation. We're down to our fair share of wide receivers, including Hopkins, Juju Smith-Schuster, Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, and Mecole Hardman. Adding another weapon would confirm that Moore's time in Kansas City is over. Of course, there's always a chance he could come off IR and make a big play down the road, but it seems like a fresh start could be what he needs. Let's hear from you, Chiefs fans. What do you think of these latest roster moves and injury updates? Are you concerned about Karlaftis' injury, or do you think Herring and Thomas could step up? As for Moore, do you think he deserves another chance, or should the Chiefs move on and make room for someone else? Let us know in the comments. Now, let's talk about Monday Night's scare. During the Chiefs' intense 30-24 overtime win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we all held our breath as Mahomes was helped off the field after falling awkwardly and spraining his ankle. It happened midway through the fourth quarter on a pivotal play, a 7-yard touchdown pass to Samaje Perine. Mahomes' response? Sheer resilience. He didn't miss a snap, coming back to lead a drive that eventually secured the overtime win. That's Mahomes' magic right there. Now, Chiefs Kingdom, here's what we know about Mahomes' ankle. On Wednesday, our QB spoke to the media, giving us some insight into his recovery. When you roll around a little bit, it's a little sore, he said, via ESPN's Adam Teicher. But I can move around, and I'm looking forward to getting out there and practicing and seeing how I could push it as the week goes on. A minor setback, perhaps, but this is a guy who has played through injuries before and knows exactly how to handle himself on the field. Head coach Andy Reid backed him up, saying the team doesn't plan on limiting Mahomes in practice this week as they prepare for Sunday's AFC West showdown against the Denver Broncos. That's promising news, Chiefs fans, because a healthy and mobile Mahomes is essential as we look to extend our undefeated streak and secure our spot atop the AFC. Through 8 games, Mahomes has thrown for nearly 2,000 yards with 11 touchdowns. Sure, he's thrown 9 interceptions, which is a bit higher than we're used to seeing from him, but his 90.1 passer rating ranks him 18th among NFL quarterbacks, still top-notch stats, especially when you consider how hard he's playing for every win. So, Chiefs Kingdom, let's hear from you. Are you concerned about Mahomes' ankle, or do you think he'll bounce back like he always has and dominate the Broncos? Leave your thoughts below, like if you think Mahomes is recovering well. We're diving into a big story today, one that nearly changed the complexion of our defense. The Chiefs were in the market to bring all-pro cornerback Marshon Lattimore to Kansas City ahead of Tuesday's trade deadline, but he ended up being sent to the Washington Commanders. Let's break down what happened and why the Chiefs decided not to match Washington's big offer. So here's the scoop. Kansas City and Lattimore seemed like a perfect fit on paper. Lattimore would have brought incredible coverage skills and experience to our secondary. But the Commanders were willing to go all in, giving up a 3rd, 4th and 6th round pick in exchange for Lattimore and a 5th round pick from the Saints. That's a serious package, and while Brett Veach and the Chiefs front office explored their options, the steep price tag was too much for them to commit to. One thing we know about Veach is that he wants to maximize value, especially when it comes to trades. Consider how he signed DeAndre Hopkins, a top-tier receiver, for just a conditional 5th round pick. That's the kind of smart move Chiefs fans have come to expect from Veach. But going all in on Lattimore would have meant giving up several picks, limiting Veach's flexibility to make other moves and reshape his roster during the draft. Another factor here is Veach's approach to building the defense. He's built a reputation for recruiting and developing young talent in the secondary rather than signing veterans to long-term contracts. And it's worked. Our secondary has been rock solid, with younger players excelling year after year. Part of Veach's strategy has been to ensure the Chiefs remain competitive now and in the long term, and while adding Lattimore may have helped this season, it may have hurt our ability to continue building a balanced and competitive roster moving forward. It's also worth mentioning that the Chiefs have already made some big moves this season, like adding Hopkins and Patriots DE Josh Uche. With all these transactions, we're starting to run low on draft capital, and as Mahomes and other stars become more expensive, landing draft picks becomes crucial. Veach has proven himself to be one of the best drafters in the NFL, and keeping these picks gives him the flexibility to continue finding hidden gems that support our franchise quarterback and defense in the long run. At the end of the day, Chiefs Kingdom, this is about confidence. We all know how valuable a guy like Lattimore would have been, but we also know how important it is to stay focused on sustainable success. Kansas City has a real chance at another deep playoff run, but Veach and the front office are also thinking about the future. Passing Lattimore on means the Chiefs keep their draft capital, continue to build a young, fast, and hungry defense, and remain prepared to keep the team competitive for years to come. So, what do you guys think? Should the Chiefs have gone all in on Lattimore, or was it the right decision to let Washington take the deal? If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button to get all the updates as we get closer to Sunday's game. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Chiefs! If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button to get all the updates as we get closer to Sunday's game. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Chiefs!